So welcome to this morning's 30-minute yoga sequence. This morning it's going to be a little bit more of a flow today. So we're going to work with the breath again. So to start, we're just going to start with our legs crossed or folded in any way that feels comfortable. You can place one leg on top of the other. If you need to, you can place a pillow or bolster underneath the hips just to elevate them so it's more comfortable. Hands on the knees, sitting up nice and tall through the spine, tilting the pelvis forward, rolling the shoulders, a few deep shoulder rolls, squeeze those shoulders together, taking a few deep breaths. And then allowing the shoulders to rest down the back. We're going to start to focus on the breath, lengthening the inhale and the exhale. Long, slow in-breath. Long, slow out-breath. Notice the body, the movement of the chest. Starting to drop your mind into your surroundings, tapping into your senses, tapping into the present moment. Two more breaths here. Allowing the breath to return to normal, rolling the shoulders once again. From here, we're going to tilt forward onto our hands and knees into tabletop. Finding our positioning, moving left to right, shifting the weight as we get our knees and palms in position over the shoulder, underneath the shoulders and the hips. Long neutral spine. Tucking the shoulder blades down the back, head gazing down towards the thumbs. We're going to move through cat-cow here to start to warm up the spine. So as we breathe in, we're going to drop the belly down to the mat, lifting up through the crown of the head. And exhale, belly button to the spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. Following your own breath here. You can start to explore shifting the weight from left to right or forward and back as you breathe through cat-cow. As you start to stretch, starting to notice where you might be holding tension, if the shoulders or the hips are feeling tight. One more breath. And back to center. Dropping down onto your elbows, keeping your hips above your knees. We're going to gently rotate the wrists. And back in the opposite direction. And back to center, placing both hands down onto the mat. Just tucking the shoulder blades down the back, lifting through the spine, lengthening. We're going to move through cat-cow from our elbows. So as we breathe in, dropping the belly, lifting up through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the belly button to the spine, drop the chin to the chest. And and breathe in. You'll feel a different stretch through the shoulders here. 2 more breaths. And then coming back to a neutral spine. We're going to slightly arch the back here, looking towards our thumbs as we walk them out in front, dropping our chin, chest, or forehead down to the mat. Taking a breath, using the out breath to drop the chest a little bit closer to the mat. Stretching through the shoulders, through the throat chakra. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shifting your weight forward onto your elbows and then dropping the hips down to the mat. Making sure that the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders here, lifting up through the chest into Sphinx. Taking a deep breath in, allowing the shoulders to fall down the back, feeling the slight arch. One more breath. Pressing into the palms, lift the elbows, dropping the chest down to the mat. Taking our hands out to our left and right sides, coming up onto our fingertips. Dropping our forehead down to the mat, elbows raised up towards the ceiling. We're going to separate our legs so that they're out nice and wide. And then we're going to take a deep breath in, pressing into the fingertips, straightening through the arms, and then lifting the chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lowering back down, forehead down to the mat. Inhale, lift. And exhale, dropping back down. 3 more. Following your breath, only going as far as you can go. You might find that you can reach a little bit further with each movement. From here, we're going to straighten through our left arm, keeping our head and right fingertips on the mat. So lifting them up, sorry. We're going to straighten through our legs again, and we're going to bend through the right knee and step it back over the left. So keeping the head and the right fingertips up, pressing back, stretching through the shoulder on the left side. Taking a breath, rolling a little bit further over, twisting through the spine, opening through the right hip. And then rolling back to center. Coming back up onto the left fingertips, straightening through the right arm, bending through the left knee, and rolling over onto your right side. Keeping the head elevated. Keep moving that knee closer to the right side. Breathing into the chest. And then rolling back to center. Tucking your hands beneath the shoulders, pressing up into cobra. And then bending, lifting back to tabletop. Gently moving from side to side. You can take the left shoulder to the left hip, right shoulder to the right hip. Just moving through the body. We're now going to tuck our toes, lift our hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. Begin to walk the feet, bending and straightening through each leg, sinking down into those heels. Pressing through the palms. Shoulder blades down the back. And then we're going to bend through both knees, hovering them above the mat, straighten, and then sink down into our heels. Stepping our right foot to our right hand. Left foot to the left hand into a forward fold. Just taking a breath here, allowing the whole upper body to hang forward. Taking a breath, crown of the head down towards the mat. Allowing the arms to hang from their shoulders. And then we're going to inhale, halfway lift. So fingertips on the mat or fingertips on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Bending through the knees, we're going to sweep our hands up to the ceiling, slightly back. Palms together and down to the heart center. Taking a breath here. Next in-breath, raising the hands up to the ceiling, and exhale, folding forward. Stepping the right foot back, left foot back into plank. Option here to drop to the knees as we bend through the elbows, and inhale, cobra. Tucking back, dropping the hips. Then tucking the toes, lift the hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. Sinking down into those heels. Stepping the left foot to the left hand. Right foot to the right hand. Into the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bending through the knees, inhaling the hands up. Palms together, exhale, hands to your heart space. Inhale, hands up. Reaching long, and exhale, forward fold. Stepping the left foot back, right foot back. Option to drop to the knees as we bend through the elbows. And inhale, cobra. And then sitting back into child's pose. So joining the big toes together, separating the knees, moving the body left to right as you settle down, placing the forehead on the mat. Stretching through the hips. As you find the body starting to settle, you might like to separate the knees a little bit further, deepening the stretch through the inside of the legs. Slowly lifting the head, walking the hands back a hand space. We're going to reach the right fingertips up to the ceiling and thread them underneath the left, dropping the left shoulder and forehead down to the mat. Taking a breath here. Pressing into the left palm, raising the right fingertips up to the ceiling and back down in front. And now reaching the left fingertips up. Deep breath in and exhale, threading underneath the right arm, dropping the left shoulder and forehead down to the mat. Pressing into the right hand, left fingertips up to the ceiling and back down in front. Slowly lifting the hips off the heels, drawing the knees back together, coming back up to tabletop. Gently moving the hips from side to side. And then tucking the toes, lift the hips up to the ceiling into downward dog, sinking down into the heels. Stepping the right foot forward. Finding your balance. Inhaling the hands up to the ceiling into a high lunge. Joining the palms together and exhale them down to the heart center. We're going to take our left elbow to our right knee as we fold forward and twist. Finding your balance here, using a wall if you need to. One more breath. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, releasing the fingertips, rolling the shoulders. Inhaling them up to the ceiling and exhale, folding forward. Stepping the left foot to the left hand. Here in your forward fold, allowing the shoulders to relax, allowing the hamstrings to lengthen as you fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bending through the knees, inhaling the hands up. Exhale, palms together, down to the heart center. Inhaling, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, knees bending through the elbows. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Taking one more breath here, sinking down into the heels. Stepping our left foot to our left hand. Finding your balance, inhaling the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. We are going to twist, so deep breath in and exhale, twist, taking the right elbow to the left knee. Finding your balance. One more breath here. And inhaling back to center. Exhale, releasing the fingertips, rolling the shoulders. Inhaling the hands up. And exhale, folding forward, stepping the right foot forward. Just allowing the shoulders to rest here, hamstrings to lengthen. In breath as we halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bending through the knees, inhaling the hands up. Exhale, palms together, down to the heart center. Inhaling, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, bending through the elbows. Inhale, cobra. Tucking the toes, lift the hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. Inhale, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, inhaling the hands up. Exhale, palms together down to the heart center. Inhaling, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping or jumping into plank. Exhale, bending through the elbows. Inhaling cobra. One more salutation. Tucking our toes. Exhale, downward dog. Stepping or jumping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bending through the knees, inhaling the hands up. Exhale, palms together down to the heart center. Inhaling, hands up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stepping or jumping back to plank. Exhale, bending through the elbows. And inhaling cobra. Exhale, child's pose here. Taking the knees out nice and wide. Forehead down to the mat. Allowing the arms to rest forward. One more breath. Lifting the head, walking the hands back a hand space. Taking the right fingertips up to the ceiling and threading underneath the left side, dropping that shoulder down onto the mat. Feeling the twist through the body. To deepen here, you can press into the left fingertips, turning the body to the left side. One more breath. And then pressing into the left hand, returning the right fingertips first to the ceiling, and then down in front. And then the left side, reaching the left fingertips up. And exhale, threading underneath the right arm. Pressing into the right palm to deepen this twist. Feeling the stretch through the legs here as well. And then pressing into the right palm, returning the fingertips up to the ceiling and out in front, lifting up to tabletop, drawing the knees back in hip width apart, gently moving the hips from side to side, releasing any tension here. Tucking the toes, lift the hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. Taking the right leg in the air, bending through the right knee, taking the right knee to the right hand, right foot to the left hand. You can walk the left leg away as we lift up through the chest here in pigeon. Stretching through our hips, through our lower back as well. We're then going to take a deep breath in and walk our hands out in front into sleeping swan. So depending how tight your hip is, you might like to stay up onto your elbows. Or if you can walk your hands out a little bit further and take your chest down to the mat. Taking a couple of breaths here. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walking the hands back towards you, lifting up through the chest. So holding here to deepen the stretch through the hip flexor on the left. If you can bend through the left knee, taking hold of the left foot with the left hand. taking a breath. The closer you can get your foot to your body, the deeper you get the stretch through the hip flexor. And then sitting back onto your right side, taking your left foot up and over your right knee. So we want the sit bones to be down on the mat, legs to be up and over, lifting through the chest. We're going to twist to the left, taking our right elbow on the outside of our left knee and looking behind. Deep breath in. And then returning to center, unwrapping the body and coming back over into tabletop. Tucking the toes, we're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. Taking our left foot in the air, bending through the left knee, taking the left knee to the left hand, left foot to the right hand, walking the right leg away. Lifting up through the chest into pigeon. Deep breath in and then slowly walking the hands out in front. Going as far as you can go. Just taking a few breaths. You might find on the out breath you might be able to walk the elbows out a little bit further. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walking the hands back towards you, lifting up through the chest. You can stay here or bend through the right knee, taking hold of the right foot with the right hand. If you can, if your back will allow it, you can lift up, taking your left hand off the mat. Taking a couple breaths here. And then sitting back onto your left side, we're going to take the right foot up and over the left knee. Pulling the feet in nice and close. Lifting up through the chest. We're going to twist to the right, taking our left elbow on the outside of our right knee and looking behind. Shoulder blades down the back. And inhaling back to center. We're going to slowly walk the feet out in front, bending and straightening through the knees, through the ankles. Just releasing any tension that we can feel in the body. Straightening through both legs, shoulder blades up and back. Inhaling our hands up to the ceiling and exhale, folding forward. Using the breath to deepen the stretch. One more. Inhaling our hands back to the ceiling and down by our sides, folding our legs in front. Hands on our knees, lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders up and back. And then allowing them to rest. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Letting go of anything that came up for you today in today's practice. Placing our hands together over our heart space. Taking a moment here to bring to mind your intention for today. So your intention is something that you intend to do. It might be an activity or a task from your to-do list. It might be a way of thinking or a mindset. It might be the way you react to certain situations. Repeating your intention again to yourself. And thank you for joining me on the mat this morning. Namaste.